Gypsy Life Readings, and today we are talking about our lives before Gypsy Life.
Yeah, this was an unexpected venture for both of us when we first met 7 years ago. We found out today, or we figured it out today.
Can't believe it's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I've known you for that long.
Which is interesting because the energy of the 7 is pinnacles, dips and pinnacles, cycles. So we feel we're at a pinnacle right now in our relationship after these 7 years, starting a new adventure together.
And everything that we've been through together has sort of led up to this point. It's exciting. And we met in acting class. We were in an intensive program here in New York City, and we were paired together. One of the first scenes that we did was as a lesbian couple from Diana Sun's play Stop Kiss.
Yeah.
And we worked really hard on this play. And that's kind of how we got to know each other and our chemistry together. Yeah. And we've been best friends, really good, well, at least really good friends ever since.
What we noticed about ourselves is we really wanted to, we had a similar mindset about really doing the work and dissecting the work and getting in there and thinking things through. And
who am I?
Yeah.
And character study and knowing each other's psyches, knowing and everybody talking about that together in class as well.
Yeah.
But in this one particular scene, and it remains one of our best memories, our still kind of new teacher said to us, well, you're weird, and you're weird, and you're weird together, then it works.
It works. Yeah.
So we've been in that dynamic ever since.
Yeah.
Lots of different ways. But we look back on that class as an amazing time of self-exploration with ourselves. I learned so much about myself. I know it's the same.
The point of the class with that teacher was to know deeply and intimately your own self, so you can bring that forth into all your characters. So we were in this energy of a whole class of people actively delving into themselves as deeply as they could.
Deep sea divers of the human psyche and dilemma, the drama of being human on Earth. So that's how we found out about the cards.
One of our classmates had visited our mentor, Alexander Dunlop, to delve as deep as he could into his psyche.
We love you, you're awesome.
Yes. And he and I think were working on a scene together at that time, so he introduced this knowledge to me. And I liked tarot, I liked astrology, and I thought it was all fun and interesting, oh, that's cool, but nothing deeper than that. Until he read to me about my card. And it hit much deeper than anything else. Any other method of spirituality had hit me, and particularly certain dates in the period of time I was at that time, accurately matched up. I was taking a trip to go to Sundance, and the exact dates that I was gonna be there aligned with the 5 card that I was experiencing, which was about travel and change and sharing who I was.
That's awesome. You remember that too.
So I felt like I had to explore this as well.
Uh-huh.
And so then the two of us.
And then so everybody in class started talking about their cards, and because we all knew each other so well, everybody could see these patterns working really, really clearly. So I finally went to get a reading with Alexander, and that's its own story. But it was one of the first things that I felt so much relief when I read my card. And I was resistant to going because I was already on my own, immersed in a lot of different spiritual ideas and reading lots of books and studying lots of different ways of thinking about my life. I love the Enneagram, for example. So I didn't know if I had room for another system. But when I read that I was a 10 of clubs, and the way Alexander explained it in particular, I've been studying with him since. So, yeah, I quickly became his assistant after that. And then Mara and I began working with him intimately and studying the cards and working on not only study groups, but a lot of different writing projects.
Yeah.
So...
now, you actually, shortly after meeting Alexander, you made the choice to go fully on a spiritual healing path.
Yeah, thank you, Mara. I think acting will always be a big part of my life, but I needed to open my mind to other things as well. So I began studying at a barn in New York City at a stable with horses. And this also relates to a lot of what John would say, or what we knew about a lot of my energy as kind of a free spirit and a gypsy, and I needed to explore something else, and I began actually a program teaching children horseback riding, specifically kids with autism or various disabilities, as an instructor, as a horseback riding instructor, and it's called Therapeutic Horseback Riding, or equine therapy, and it's a really growing field all across the United States, and I did that for 5 years.
Yeah, you got certified and
so
became one of their head teachers.
Yeah, I'm technically a PATH certified therapeutic horseback riding instructor, Professional Association of Therapeutic Horseback Riding. And the program I work with is called Gallup NYC. So lots of love to everybody at Gallup. And I loved being outside. I loved being out with animals. And it's not necessarily an overtly spiritual experience or path, that you wouldn't say that out loud, but just so deep and intimate and rich with the horses and the students, and I can talk more about that at another time. But that has been a huge part of my life.
You did always speak deeply about the spiritual connection you felt with the horses, and you could feel their energy and how they helped. There was something else going on besides just a horse and a child. You know?
Absolutely. It just meant so much to me. Mara's heard so many of my stories.
And while you were doing that, you were also at the Integrative.
Yep, I got my health coaching certification from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and I loved studying the way our relationship with life is reflected in our relationship with food, and vice versa. And so nutrition as something that you can study not only relates to food, but all the nutrition of your life, your career, your relationships, your relationship with money, your relationship with yourself. So it's a holistic approach to understanding health. And I think today a lot of people are looking at, instead of just taking another prescription from the doctor, I think a lot of people are opening their minds to solutions that are outside of the box and alternative healing methods.
Yeah. What I love that you've brought into my life based on this is the fact that it is integrative. So like how all parts of your life come together in the whole. So a lot of people segment or compartmentalize this part of my life, this aspect of my life, and they try to separate them.
Yeah.
But bringing it all together is so important into being fully balanced and aligned and realized as a person.
Absolutely. Thanks. And I think that's been my biggest background in working with clients. And the health coaching is so much about how to establish a dialogue with clients, what you're talking about. So yeah.
How does Reiki fit in? I feel like...
And Reiki fit in, I've always been on a spiritual path in that sense, and having different experiences as a young girl, and seeking alternative, from psychics to healers to inform my perspective. I've been on that path for a long time, and my aunt is a Reiki master, and she's also a shaman in a Native American tradition. And I've been working with her for, I guess, we're close, but I got my first Reiki level 1 3 years ago. And different experiences with her also informed a lot of my spiritual education, you could say, or my understanding of shamanism. And I also studied with Brian Brunius at NYC Reiki as a different program. And I've been doing Reiki since.
Yeah, she did Reiki on me, and I don't know, for me it felt like that really made the integrative sense of it, everything you had been doing, because you're working on this energy of the whole body. You started at my feet, right? And you went up. And so it was literally like the whole body coming together, and I had a large experience.
You're so receptive already. And we had such a wonderful time exploring that part of what I do together as well. But Mara, you're already so open, and anyway, I can feel it even as we're talking about it. It's such a magical part of what I'm studying and the journey that I'm on, and how we started, or how I made the decision that this is what I really want to do with my life.
Yeah.
And the cards have been an incredible factor in how to address it and how to start and everything. And you, Mara, even before you got to acting class, had a degree in helping people. It's a master's in forensic psychology, right?
Yeah. I realized even before I started acting class, I got my master's in forensic psychology. As I was graduating high school, I had all these fantasies. I loved studying psychology always, and I had these fantasies of working in the FBI. Actually, one of my daydreams in economics class, which was the most boring, was that I was a secret agent.
Awesome.
And my team would come in and pull me out of class. And I was still a high school student. In my fantasy, I wasn't an adult. I was like the 17-year-old brilliant genius mind.
FBI agent.
FBI agent. And they came in and pulled me out of class, and we had to, like, solve a case, and everyone was like,
funny.
Oh, Mara's a secret agent.
That's so funny.
So, I had a dual passion to either become an actress or become an FBI agent. But the FBI fantasies felt more exciting at the time, and I knew I would have to get a degree in that if that's what I was going to end up pursuing. So that's where I went after high school. And I ended up going fully and getting my master's in forensic psychology, which means the only difference between a psychologist and a forensic is your client is the court versus the patient.
Oh, okay.
So you're treating patients, but you're actually hired and paid and working for the court system.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and it's often not a voluntary session with the patient. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's a whole
other...
other...
a lot of good, tough love.
That's a whole other conversation.
No, but it relates, like we're saying, it's all related. This is something that very much relates to the way that you are able to even be tough with people and have certain mindsets and...
Mm-hmm. And I worked with a professor for 2 summers teaching drama inside a women's prison. And I also did my internship at Kirby Forensic Psychiatric Center, which is a maximum security forensic hospital for the criminally insane. They've either been deemed not guilty by reason of insanity, or they're not yet sane enough to stand their own trial. So we're trying to restore them to fitness so they can go and stand trial.
Wow.
But what I did there was... They asked, when I was accepted into the internship, they knew about my work doing drama inside the women's prison, so they wanted me to implement the first ever drama therapy group inside the hospital.
That's amazing.
Which was a really amazing experience, both inside the prison and here, seeing the therapeutic nature of drama and art inside that population.
Yeah.
And the level of creativity that the inmates or the patients brought just because of where they are. And
gosh, I can't even imagine. That sounds incredible.
So my fantasy switched from being the FBI agent
to acting. You missed those roots.
To continue working in an artistic field. And I really felt the switch to pursue definitely acting and writing. And I felt like at some point in my life I would come back to the drama therapy. I wasn't sure when, but I knew that healing and teaching and imparting knowledge was some part of my life path.
Amazing.
But I wanted to fully dive into the performing and writing.
Yeah.
And really give that my all so I could sort of integrate.
Yeah.
But when I found the cards... Again, I also didn't think that this would be something I would fully pursue, but it seemed like that really grounded what I was trying to do with my life. Because I felt like I had all these paths ahead of me. And I also, at the time, I was studying different forms of meditation. One in particular that really resonated with me was an orgasmic meditation, which deals with just the flow of energy through your body and how we all come from an orgasm.
Absolutely.
So our life unfolds as a continuous orgasm when you're really in tune.
It's a kundalini energy and our sexual energy and a lot of our power in the world.
Yeah. And so again, looking at sex and sexuality as a healing energy and how to tap into that. So I noticed the thread through everything I was doing was this essence of imparting a healing.
Beautiful, yeah.
And the cards really grounded that for me. It gave me it was the tie.
Absolutely. And it gave you confidence to do what you do and know that you're doing the right thing that works for you and this special energy that you have to share.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And as an actress, at this point, you've had a lot of success in your career, right? Since once you put your mind to it, when your single one eye King of Diamonds eye on it. You just got back from LA, right?
Yes, I have. Had 2 plays and a film show out there that I wrote and acted in. I didn't act in the 2 plays in LA. I acted in them here in New York, but the film I did act in. And so they're receiving a good, or they're getting a good reception, and the film has won some awards and is currently online, and we'll provide that information for you.
Absolutely. We can check out your website. This is Mara's website right here, and please view her films. And what I remember you saying about your work as an actress, writer, producer is a desire to illuminate or show these darker sides of humanity through a lens of compassion.
Yeah.
And that this is one of your deeper callings as an artist.
Yes. I will definitely, I have full intention to continue writing and acting while doing this healing work, because it is a healing, also a mode of healing for me.
Sure.
And to look at our darkest places through compassion, to really help people grow a sense of self-love.
Yeah, beautiful.
And that's what my plays are about in their dark, twisted ways.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll gather that from the film. You'll see.
Absolutely. And that's what your readings are about, too. So it's very different, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And it speaks to our cards as well. I think we were going to end on that note, right?
Yeah.
That you're a King of Diamonds.
And a 4 of Clubs.
King of Diamonds, birth card, 4 of Clubs, personality card. But the King of Diamonds is really sort of the master of the physical world. And can you speak on that a little bit, about how that relates to what you're doing?
I guess it's a powerful card. It's a card.
It's the king.
Yeah.
You're a woman, but it's the king. It's a masculine go-getting energy.
Yes. And it's an inherent knowing of what things are worth to you and the value of things for you. So the way I go after, I only really fully pursue stuff that is of value to me, and how that manifests materially is almost like the secondary thought.
Oh, that's great.
But if the pursuit is inherently valuable to me, because obviously to me healing is very valuable, so I'm going to fully pursue lines of work that I feel will bring forth in a kind of like I've always thought of it as even though it's a masculine card, like a birthing way, coming through my physical being, going through the physical experience of what I want to share.
That's cool.
So I can bring it forth.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you're a double 10.
I'm a double 10.
Yes.
This is hard. It's a lot of a lot. So I feel like I've learned a lot to know that part of my life calling is to shine a light of awareness and shine a light of knowledge. And technically it's a feminine card. It's the princess card. So I'm learning to own my princess energy.
I always get on her about this because the princess plays an important role. I believe.
Yes. On the downside, it's very frivolous and silly, but on the higher side, it's very inspirational. So, so I'm a 10 of clubs, 10 of spades.
But the frivolous silliness that you've deemed it, I feel like shows the importance to others of lightness.
Cool. Oh, I like that.
And enjoyment.
Yeah, lightness.
I remember I was very sad once after a breakup.
Uh-oh, what did I do?
And Stephanie was like, let's listen to music and just dance.
Oh, yeah.
And that was not natural to me, my nature of this. I've got to handle this problem and get through it.
We put on Madonna.
Yeah. And I was like, I've got to get through this. Stephanie, here's what's happening. I'm in a crisis, so I'm going to go see a shaman. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fix it. And Stephanie was like, that's nice. But until then, let's dance. That might seem frivolous, but to me it was very healing because I was like, oh, right. Life is fun and joyful.
It's fun and light and free.
And that's important too, because otherwise you're just in a quagmire.
So cool. Taking things too seriously. That's a good memory.
And it gave me clear headspace, which is your card energy.
Perfect.
To handle what I wanted to handle in an even more empowered way.
Thanks, Mara.
Yeah.
That's a good memory. Yeah. So I think that's us, right?
Yeah.
That's a little bit about our background and our cards and how we got here.
Life before Gypsy Life.
Life before Gypsy Life. And
now we're excited to share this life, Gypsy Life,
perfect
with you.
Absolutely, going forward.
Yes. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye.